Can I retire with 150 grand just for me and my wife? I don't know, but we're soon going to find out. So what's the plan? Well, I thought I'd make a very quick video and just lay it all out and tell you exactly what the plans are. Now, whether you agree that it's a good idea, whether you disagree it's a good idea, I don't mind, just let me know. But we are trying it, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, you know. I kind of want some freedom, and here's how we're going to do it. So basically we've got a property. It's worth, we reckon, maybe about just under 300k. We owe 140k on it, or just over 141k on an interest-only mortgage, which our plan originally always was to downsize, sell the property and then downsize, using maybe some pension money around kind of next year, which is when I turn 55, maybe a little bit later on. We don't have to pay the mortgage off for about another 7 years or so. Some people have suggested that we rent the property out. To do that, we'd have to make it kind of legit to rent out, really, on the rental market, and there's certain things we'd have to do which would cost us quite a bit of money, like a full rewire possibly. So this is why we're not going to get over 300 grand for the house, because it probably needs a new roof, as a lot of the houses in the area have had new roofs, and it probably needs a rewire. Some of the windows need updating and that kind of stuff, which we're not really willing to spend the money on, but would rather just take a drop in what we sell it for. It's all part of the plan. The reason we can't downsize is now because, well, one, the cost of living's gone up so much. We want to move to France eventually. I'll cover that in a second. And the property's obviously gone up. Haven't made any chunk payments off the mortgage. We're just not going to make enough. I would have to use up pretty much all my pension to then buy another property in the UK outright. It is an option we've considered, and it is an option that right up to the last minute we will still consider. So these plans, the ultimate goal is for me to stop working and go with my wife and enjoy the country and enjoy Europe and do some things without having to work. That's the ultimate goal. The plans to do that may change. So that's the house. My pension, I have 2 private pensions totaling around 150,000. They were worth about 180,000. I lost a lot of money when Trump decided to put all his tariffs on and the stock market dropped. I actually pulled out of the market, stupidly, most of my investments in North American stocks and shares. Well, stocks or indices I was invested in, and I have put all of that money back in, but I missed the bounce back and went against all my own advice, and I know, stupid decision, but there you go. So that's that. So yes, I've got 2 pensions totaling 150,000. Now what we plan to do is, with the equity in the property, which we're hoping is about 100k, is use that to purchase a pretty in need of renovation house somewhere in France, looking at possibly lower Normandy, maybe a little bit further south, but we're looking at rural areas, and we plan to have something that we can just do up over the years, but something that's habitable now. And there's plenty of those. There's absolutely thousands of them. So it's just a case of finding one in an area that we like, and that's reasonably remote but not too remote. We want to be near, reasonably near to a major town where there's a hospital and medical facilities and that kind of thing, because if we do eventually get our visa and stay there and live there, we want to, we're going to get old, obviously, so we might need some help at some point. And their health system over in France is absolutely fantastic. Yes, you pay for it, but once you're on the system, they pay for about 75% of it, and then you just get an insurance for the rest. But their health system is way better than the NHS, and that information comes from multiple people that have compared the two. So that's the plan. So literally I turned 55, it would be about April next year, and then we'll get the house on the market. We may have to drop the price and keep dropping the price until we sell it. We're looking for a quick sale, obviously, because our mortgage at the moment, the interest on it, it's on a variable rate. We couldn't really mortgage onto a lower rate or a fixed rate, because we would have had to do it onto repayment, and the interest, with the interest rates gone up so high, it would have been kind of unaffordable. So I haven't really looked into that. We benefited when the interest rates were low. Should have taken advantage of the low rates by paying off more on the mortgage, which we didn't. It was a decision we made at the time, probably a bad decision, I know, but it doesn't really matter. You know, we are where we are now, and I'm looking forward to the next stage of life, which will be next year. So the plan is me to stop working, sell the house. We'll probably bung some money in the bank from my pension while we're selling the house, and that'll help us do up the house. It will help me not have to work for a couple of months, and then we can really get to town on sorting the house out and get it all ready for sale and everything else, tidying up our plans, get ourselves a decent truck to tow the caravan. The plan is to buy a Ford Ranger truck. I've had a few people say, oh no, you don't want to get one of those. I mean, it doesn't matter what I say, even if I said the most perfectly advised thing, I'm always going to get someone go, well, you don't want to do it like that, you want to do it like this, because somebody always knows better, don't they? But I've had a lot of people, well, I've had 2 people actually say, don't buy a Ford Ranger, they're rubbish, the engine's crap. Well, I see them everywhere, and I challenged that and said, well, what's wrong with the Ford Ranger? They said, well, it's the same as a Ford Transit, the engine's rubbish. Well, what vans do you always see on the road? Ford Transit. I've driven them, I've driven old ones, I've driven new ones, absolutely fine, no problem at all. So that's what we're going with, and if we find out that it's terrible, then we'll find out it's terrible, won't we? And I'll be one of those going, well, you don't want to do that, you want to do this. So I'd rather learn from experience on this one, because it's a perfect towing vehicle. It's a 3.2 diesel, which is what we're looking for, something that will tow pretty much any caravan on the road, so that we're going to be towing this little thing, which will be no problem at all. But if we do need to upgrade, or we decide to live in the caravan for longer and we want something bigger, then an upgrade, then our truck, we won't have to change the truck. We had thought about a motorhome instead, trading the caravan in for a motorhome. The only thing with that is if it goes in for a service, or you want to go to the shops, that's your whole home that you have to up sticks and use to then drive around. I suppose the pros of that would be that we could park anywhere. I know that's not strictly allowed to sleep in a motorhome, I think, at the side of the road, but obviously people do it, you know, kind of van life and everything else. But our plan is to stay in caravan and motorhome club certified locations, which are like farmers' fields, where they restrict the amount of people that can stay there at any one time. You can stay in some of them for up to 28 days at a time. You can't revisit them for a period of time, but that's okay. And there's loads and loads of them in the area. I also know some farmers in the area as well, so there's a bit of a connection, a bit of a network there that I can fall back on, if you like, to use their fields, because we're going to be completely off grid in the caravan. I will have backups of gas bottles, we'll have electricity, so the fridge will run on gas, it can run on electric, doesn't really matter. I'm going to have a battery bank, probably 2 batteries in parallel. That'll be my battery bank, so plenty of battery storage. I'll have some solar panels on the roof, probably about 300-400 watts on the roof, and then I'll probably have another flexible solar panel that I can put out outside of the awning. We have got a really nice awning for this caravan as well when I put it up right. We've got storm straps, we've got all the gear ready for high winds and that sort of stuff. So that's the plan. It's really, I said before, we're going to be living in the caravan. It's a long holiday. It'll be at least 6 months, I think, and then we'll head on down to France. That'll be the plan. When we buy the property down there, obviously we have to apply for a visa, otherwise you can only visit 3 months every 180 days. So we can only have 6 months of the year down there. We had thought that we might stay 3 months in the property and then come back to the UK, live in the caravan, and then 3 months maybe down the south of France with the caravan, and then back to the UK again and do that. It's a bit of travelling around, but you know, while we're fit and able, that might be part of the adventure. So that's the main plan, really. As far as red tape is concerned, with you know, after Brexit, obviously having to apply for a visa, having to, if we want to move, we're going to be putting a lot of our belongings from our house into storage, which could cost, we've quoted about £150 a month, and that's we've put that into our budget, and our budget between the two of us will hopefully stick to just under £1,000 a month. If it goes slightly over, it's affordable. My wife already has a pension, and that increases every year. That was a sort of a partial partial final salary scheme pension, so it was worth taking for the annuity that they pay, and that's around £400 a month. So we need about £600 a month to pay for our budget of £1,000 a month living costs. So with 150,000 in the pension, I'm not going to take an annuity at all, because the annuity quotes are just ridiculous. I'd rather leave it invested. The investments have actually done really well. I've more than doubled the pot over the last 8 years. By just carefully watching the investments. Yes, they go up and down. Yes, they are volatile, and yes, there is inflation to account for as well. But if I probably won't even need to draw 4% a year. I don't think, or maybe I will. I don't know. I have done the numbers. I haven't got them here right now. I just wanted to give you an update as to exactly what our plans are, just so that you're clear. Now, the reason I'm doing that is not to tell you all about myself, really. It's just to see if we connect with anybody who is interested in doing the same thing, or has already done it, or is doing it right now. I know there's a lot of people leaving the UK. There's a lot of people deciding to do van life in the UK. Is the UK going to end up turning into caravan city like in Bristol that I've seen reported, where there's just thousands, or at least hundreds, several hundred caravans all around the town centre, the city centre and stuff, people living at the roadside in caravans? Is that the way things are going? I think if you're rich and you're living in the UK, you don't need to worry about anything, do you? You don't need to worry about cost of living, prices going up, energy prices going up. I've got solar power rigged up at home. We use that a lot, and that does save on our bills, but you still have to have the standing charge. You've still got the connection and all that sort of stuff. Living in a caravan, we'll be completely off grid, pretty much. Yes, we'll still have outlay for gas bottles and that kind of stuff, but solar panels last a long time. The batteries will last, if we switch over to lithium, which are more expensive, but they will last upwards of 10 years. The lead acid batteries will last 5 years anyway. We only need it really for a year, is the plan, and after 5 years we can replace them. We want to buy a place in France that has some land, so that we can move the caravan onto that land and have that as a spare bedroom for visitors. The reason we're not going further afield, I know I've had some great suggestions about moving to Thailand and moving to Morocco and other places like that, which all look good. In fact, Morocco, funny enough, I was thinking, God, I'm not going to that crime-ridden place. There's more violent crime in France than there is in Morocco, funny enough. I didn't realise. So whoever suggested that, my apologies. But I can't go to Morocco, it's too far away. North Africa is, I know it's nice and warm, great climate, and it looks pretty good there actually, but we need to be kind of around Lower Normandy, so that we're within a day's drive and a ferry crossing back to the UK, because we still have not family commitments, but family that we want to be that close to, kind of thing. My kids are grown up, but my wife has elderly parents, and we want to be just on hand, that's all. So we have looked further down. We've looked down at Poitou-Charentes, which is a little bit further south, and also to the West Aquitaine region, I think. I haven't got a map with me, but we've been looking further southwest, because because of the way the roads are there, is the travel back to the UK is not so bad. It still doesn't put too much on the journey. So where we've been looking further south, there has been cheaper properties. So, but there has also been a higher concentration of expats from the UK, which we don't want to be near. I don't want to be anywhere near a bunch of English people. I really don't. Got my own reasons for that, but we love the French. We want to completely integrate. So when we get down there, I know that the majority of UK people will move away to France and use English builders. They'll use contacts in the UK to do everything for them. We want to do it kind of the other way around. When I get there, I'm going to get in with the local mairie, which we did before when we nearly bought a property. That's a different story, a few years ago, and use their suggestions, and just so that it's going to make getting the visa and living in that area a whole lot easier if we're sort of very, very integrated, which is what we want to do. We're learning the language. My wife's a little bit better than me, but we've both been studying French for years and years, so we shouldn't have an issue with that. So that's the plan, really. But it's just to let you know the numbers, exactly what we're going to be doing plans wise. I will be getting the caravan serviced. I'm going to get one of those mobile caravan services to come and have a look at it, just check it all over, check the gas and everything. Probably don't need to. I know what I'm doing most of the time, but when it comes to the gas, I just want to be extra careful, really. So we'll pay them a few £100 to come and sort that out and have a look at everything. Might change the tyres on it because it's been sitting in the garden for quite a while as well. But yeah, looking forward to it, really looking forward to it. So looking forward to just stopping work and seeing if it works. I know that you see some other videos where they say, can you retire at 55 on 150,000? That's for one person. This is for two of us, albeit my wife's got almost half of what we need, £1,000 a month outgoings. We may spill way over that, in which case we might have to reconsider what we're doing, or we may have to go to France and buy a property and get a base there quicker, sooner rather than later, so that we can live in that shell of a house and gradually get everything all connected on and all that sort of stuff. But it's definitely going to be cheaper living over there. There's more land space. You can get so much more for your money when it comes to property. And yeah, we're very excited about it. So there we are, quick update. Thank you very much if anybody's watched this, really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe and do all that good stuff if you can. That would be really appreciated, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.